to try out. When you get that type of call, you're kind of, skeptical. This may be a lot of work. And what got me was when he said he pitched in the big leagues for 7 years, and I was like, I got to meet this guy. Why would you not want to be surrounded by somebody like that? And I think life is all about surrounding yourself with good people. And it's amazing that he can put an event on with 400 Americans. And I love this trip because you get to meet so many people. And like the coaches, I'm an extrovert and I love meeting new people. But everyone this trip, I think this would have been my 5th year, my 4th year of doing this. I think this group, I know people say that, but I think this has been the most fun trip so far. And out of all 400 people, I think we all are great people here. So thank you guys for being so cool. And also, it was nice finally getting to have some beers with the coaches because we have a nice, comfortable place to sit. And they said, no fish. You were always at the casino in the other hotel. And I was like, okay, that's very true. But if anybody wants to come, we're headed there later. The 14U team, we played, we were 1-3 as well, but we lost the first game by 1 run, lost the second game in extra innings by 1 run, won the third game, and then we're tied 1-1 going into the 4th game in the 5th inning. So, we had it very tough. But this group of guys, I really enjoyed getting to be around. And like one of the coaches was saying, being around a group where you don't know what anybody does, and then them all coming together and being able to perform at that level. I've coached the 16s, the 18s, 16s, but I think the 14U is the level before these Dominican kids get really picked to go to these academies. Every pitcher we faced was bazooka arm, and I was like lefty, next lefty, lefty, and we did. They took the jersey off, put it on the next guy, but we faced 6'4". These guys were huge, and we were in it. Could have easily been 4-0. Especially 3-1. It didn't work out. Part of baseball, catching breaks, but I'm really proud of these guys for battling the entire time. So,
way to go, boys!
So, my first award is for our most valuable hitter, and this year my awards are that we have good stories. So, in that game, it's I want to say at this point we're down, bases loaded. He smokes a ball down the left field line, hits off the base, shoots left, guy fields it, gets past the guy, and the umpire calls it foul. And the parents are, we got video, and the umpire's like, all right, bring the video down. The other coach is like, you can't use video, but it hits off the base. And anyways, kills our rally. The runners all go back. Next pitch, dude bangs one off the wall, all the runners score. And you talk about, all the games that I've been around as a coach, the parents were going crazy. Even the Dominican kids of the academies were going crazy. It was the most electric atmosphere I've ever been a part of in a game here. And that moment of hitting a double, getting it ripped away, and we were all pissed, and the momentum was down, and then all of a sudden, next pitch hits a double, clears the bases, chase, Tarnoff.
Yeah!
Better than the first. Yeah.
My pitcher, and some of them may think I'm going to say somebody, but we'll get to that guy in a second. But this guy, they kind of calling him the PO, and he's super, maybe not as athletic looking, but he threw a bullpen for Mark, and Mark was like, dude, I think this guy may be your best guy. And I was like, really? All right, I'm going to start him against this really good team. And man, he came out, and I think we went the entire game. That was the game we went to extra innings, and he just was gassed at that point. I think he was at almost 100 pitches, and he is under the weather as well. But that is Nolan Hooper.
Yes. Way to go, Nolan!
Nolan! Bless his heart.
Now the coach's award was easy. So this kid, man, I felt so bad for him. The first game, this Dominican with the hot bats smokes the ball down the third base line, hits off his glove and straight to the face, and catches him right above the brow. And I'm like, oh, it tipped his glove, like 2-2. We're in a tie game, and we're like blood pouring out of his face. And so then we run out there, and with blood and the panic, and he goes, Coach, I'm sorry, I didn't make the play. And I'm like, dude, you're fine. can you breathe? Okay, I can breathe. Your eye's good, and there's blood all over me too, and it was just, one of those big moments. So his eye is swollen shut the next day, and he cannot see. I'm like, dude, keep the ice. And kudos to his parents. I think he slept with ice on, never stopped the ice. So the next day, and he had to sit that day, the next day he comes out, and he can barely see. It's shut. And he goes, Fish, I can pitch. I said, dude, you're starting on the mound first game. And he goes, I told him, I said, if you get there and you can't do it, let me know. But you're starting game one, because I wanted him to be able to contribute. He goes, complete game, shutout, 3-hitter, 9 innings. 9 strikeouts. The most gutsy performance I've ever seen. It gives me chills talking about it. The one-eyed man, Drew Petty.
Woo!
And then all these coaches, man, making us look bad. Like, oh, all the parents. Yes, we love all the parents, but I'm going to give an award out to one parent. But all of my parents were good. And speaking of parents, I wanted to thank all my Houston parents, part of our organization in Houston. Thank you guys for all being here. I got to spend a lot of time with you guys, but we only have great parents in our organization, so thank you guys. And all the Houston parents that I got to meet. It was so nice meeting you guys as well. But this parent, it was more a moment that a lot of people didn't see. I think the greatest thing about coming here, besides, getting to meet so many great people, is the Dominican kids and being a part of the city and seeing how privileged we are to be in America. And this dad pulls out the suitcase, and everybody was already on the bus, but he pulls out the suitcase and it was full with bats and gloves. And these Dominican kids at this academy, I was like, hey, because normally they'll swarm this stuff, and I was like, guys, I want to do this poquito niños primera first, and then we'll go up. And they sat there and were so disciplined in line. And they were sitting there waiting, and one by one, they sat there and grabbed some new gear. And there's probably 15, 16 kids, they all got something. And this dad came up, and I was like, hey, tell these kids to keep working hard. We are so appreciative of them, and we know what we have in America, and we take it for granted. And I want these guys to know that we're thinking about them, and we're so happy to give them these gifts. And he translated the whole thing, and it was just a cool moment to share with him. And these Dominican kids and his son, and that goes to Cesar Saldivia. And he said, I'm not going to drink that much so I can walk straight to get this award.
No, he already drank that much.
Too late.
Yeah, come on.
You can walk sideways, it's fine, bro.
Okay, parents.